Why pick Palisades Zoysia? I guess the number one reason in my mind to pick Palisades Zoysia is probably aesthetics. It's got a We have all of these grasses growing out in front of our office for people to come up and look at and walk in and whatnot. And I have to say that 9 out of 10 times when people first pull up, the Palisades is the first one that they walk over to. And it may be because it's something a little bit different than what everyone is used to, because it looks different than the Bermudas and the St. Augustines and whatnot. But I think that it's got a very good look to it. It is very carpet-like. It's because it's very thick and dense as far as the amount of vegetation per square inch. And when you walk across it, you can actually, depending on the height you're mowing it at, I guess, you actually leave footprints in it when you walk across it, because it is so thick and plush. And I guess about the only thing you could say negative about Palisades is that it costs a little bit more than St. Augustine, and that's really about it. It's got, as far as its place in homeowners' yards. If someone wants a zoysia, the first question that we're going to ask them is, how much sunlight do you get? And if you get the kind of the Raleigh St. Augustine requirements, which is 6 or 7 hours of direct sunlight per day, I'm going to steer you to Palisades Zoysia every time, as opposed to the fine-bladed zoysias, of which we carry 2, Emerald and Cavalier. They have some shade tolerance, the Emerald and Cavalier. The Palisades is more along the lines of St. Augustine, meaning it needs 6 or 7 hours of direct sunlight per day. The other 2 zoysias that I mentioned, the Emerald and Cavalier, can survive on probably 4 or 5 hours of direct sunlight per day, so more in line with the Palmetto St. Augustine kind of sun requirements. The grass it can be, I guess the reason that I steer most people to it that say, hey, I want something different, or I like, they moved here from up north. A lot of people that move here from up north, the Palisades looks a lot more like what they're used to. But I guess the most desirable thing about Palisades is compared to the other 2 and some of the other grasses, is I tell people it's just like taking care of St. Augustine. If you've ever taken care of a St. Augustine yard, then you can take care of Palisades. You can use the same type of mower. You can mow at the same frequency. Watering requirements are fairly similar. It does have a little more drought tolerance than some of the other grasses, but if you want a pretty green yard, we tell everybody it's going to take 1 inch of water during the week, during the grow. 1 inch of water per week during the growing season. If you want a pretty green yard, that's what it's going to take. I don't care if it's Palisades, St. Augustine, Bermudagrass is. That's just what it's going to take. So in my mind, they're kind of all on an even playing field as that goes. But fertilization requirements are fairly similar. So the reason I say that is because the ease of care is because the fine-bladed zoysias need, they kind of have some of their own intricacies. They really prefer to be mowed with a reel mower, the mower that goes like this, the old-timey mowers that kind of work like scissors. There's a lot fancier ones nowadays than the old ones that we used to use to mow the grass when we were little. But there's powered ones, but they're very expensive, and you don't have to use that type of mower for the fine-bladed zoysias, but it definitely looks the best. At the farm, I can tell you that we use the same mowers that they use on golf courses to mow them, and that's what it really takes to make them look their best. Most people that buy fine-bladed zoysias from us do not end up using that type of mower, but I'm just for the sake of comparison. So Palisades has got the ease of care. It's just like taking care of St. Augustine. It's very pretty and very plush. Feels very nice under your feet. It doesn't have that coarse feel that St. Augustine does, and it certainly has got its place in a homeowner's yard, unlike some of the other grasses that are out there. As long as you get that 6 or 7 hours of direct sunlight per day, I would say absolutely, without hesitation, I would go for the Palisades Zoysia.